Hi, this is Jason Romero, author, speaker on success and resilience, and the first and only blind person to run across America. Coming to you today with another episode and hopefully sharing some truth, wisdom, and some inspiration. And today's episode is about something that I believe we all battle with. And that is the question of when we look at ourselves, do we look at ourselves as being broken or beautiful? And this is a deep question, folks, so get ready. The reason for this episode came to me because a couple days ago I spoke with a group up in the northwestern U.S. And after speaking with that group, I received a note. And the note read as follows: "Thank you for sharing your vulnerabilities, your failures, your successes, and the role of receiving help, and how we can know that being vulnerable is not a weakness, but a strength." And let me tell you, after I read that, I took a long pause to process what this person had just told me. Because when I speak, my talk is about my life, ups, downs, struggles, depression, super highs, super lows, running across America, that type of thing. And I tell a lot of stories along the way. And I always end up crying because I always end up reliving all of those things. But what that note impressed upon me was that, I shared my life in a real way, in an authentic way, in a vulnerable way. And that's what I've always thought when I get up there to speak, I'm supposed to do that. And I've always thought when I spoke, if I can affect one person in the audience, then I've done my job. Well, I guess I did my job in this particular case, but that comment also got me thinking about myself, really about myself. And I want to share with you an experience that I had with a person who's very close to me. I was having dinner with recently, and we were in a darker restaurant, and I couldn't really see because with my eye condition, I can't see in the dark that well. And usually we laugh, have belly laughter, hilarious cracking jokes, play off each other, Mutt and Jeff kind of stuff. But this particular part of the conversation and this particular tenor, we were sitting across from one another, and the conversation had turned to an area that has affected me and been very difficult for me, over the past probably year and a half. And I was having a tough time just bringing the words out. And part of me wanted to just shut the conversation down and not share, but this person was too important to me. I knew that they cared and I wanted to share with them. So I went into the topic and I just broke down. And it was really hard because the hard part was when I was sitting there explaining this, I could go back there right now, but as I was sitting there explaining it, what came to me was, I'm supposed to be this strong, motivational speaker, inspiration, can overcome everything and anything. But there's certain things in life that just crack you open like a walnut. And I remember as I shared with this person, I couldn't see what was happening, but the person, when they saw me get to that state, they walked around the table, embraced me, and it helped me, obviously. And then continued on, and it was interesting because we talked about that moment afterward, later on, and this person told me, Jason, that made me feel better because it made me feel like I wasn't broken. And that was hard to hear because this was a person that was so inspirational to me and, is beautiful to me. And what I realized in that moment when this person shared that with me was my brokenness was beautiful to this person too. And I think that's something that's really, really important because we all struggle with so much. And we have a lot of great stuff too, right? Right now I'm struggling with something crazy. Like I cry probably an hour a day, like crocodile tears just streaming down my face. Like I need like an IV to rehydrate after my good cry session. And my therapy is like a 3-hour run every day. It always seems like if I'm doing really good, I'm running a lot, and if I'm struggling with something, I'm running a lot. So right now I'm running a lot, but it's a struggle thing. But it's one of those things when you get up and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, where am I at? What am I? Am I broken? And very rarely do I get to the point where I say, or am I beautiful? But that's kind of what this note and this comment from this person who was listening to one of my talks, told me. And I remember, I'm going to put a picture on the video right now. This is a picture of me right before I was starting my run across America. And in my talks, I always start the part of my talk about the run across America with this picture. And I always say, this was taken at Santa Monica Pier in Los Angeles at the Pacific Ocean. And I bent down to touch the ocean. And when I bent down, there was a seashell and it was broken. And I always say it was perfect in its imperfection, just like I was. It's kind of interesting that I looked at myself as being broken at that point. My plan with the seashell is run across the U.S. and throw it in the Atlantic Ocean as a sign of closure, and hopefully that would make me not broken, if you will, or heal me some way. And I guess in some ways it did. But as I recount back to how I tell that story and I look at myself as being broken in that point, I want to rethink that. Because if there's one thing that this other person taught me, was that even in my brokenness, I can be beautiful. And that's something that we all need to hear. So, God, I don't know why I'm crying. I need like Kleenex or something. But I want each and every one of you, whoever is watching this, there's a reason why you're watching this. And when you get up in the morning, I want you to look yourself in the mirror and I want you to say, I am not broken. I am beautiful. And you are not alone. Say it.